realistically, who could be our next pope?
Well, Soledad, there's a lot of talk that the Catholic Church is in the developing world, in Africa and Asia. So I want to go out on a limb, and I want to throw someone out from the developing nation of the Philippines, Cardinal Tagle. Now, he's only 55 years old.
Which would be good, because we had a lot of older popes.
Except it would be younger than John Paul II when he was elected to the long papacy. So if you don't like him, you have him for a long time. However, some of the cardinals may be heartened by the fact that now we have a pope who resigned. So perhaps if it's not working too well, a younger cardinal, a younger pope could in fact resign.
What makes you pick him as your first? I know you've got a couple on your top three, let's say.
Well, he's only a cardinal for 3 months, another, I guess, working against him, per se.
In fact, it was Benedict XVI who just made him a cardinal back in November, right?
That's right. And when John Paul II, when he was introduced to John Paul II by Benedict, he said, "I assure you he's made his first communion," because he looks so young. So that was the comment that Benedict made to John Paul II. But why I'm interested in talking a bit about him is because he's so humble. When he was bishop in Imus in the Philippines, he would ride his bicycle. He would encounter all the people on the streets. He would invite the poor into his residence to eat. There's a story about a woman who was looking for her alcoholic, out-of-work husband, expecting to find him in the local bar. She found him in the residence with the bishop eating lunch. He spoke very vociferously at the last meeting, the Synod of Bishops. He says, we need a church that's humbler, simpler, and with a greater capacity for silence. So he's speaking really very prophetically. Simple man, and people are looking at him and saying, wow, wouldn't this be something? He studied in the US, by the way, Catholic University of America, summa cum laude, so he's no slouch. And
so, okay, let me throw another name then. Many people have said this might be the opportunity to have an African as Pope. And so Cardinal Peter Turkson of Ghana, many people have mentioned his name. How about him?
Very charismatic as well. A few strikes against him. One is that he's already spoken about it to the press, who asked him,
like the CIA, forget it.
Well, he didn't say, like, I want to be. He said basically, well, it would be a tough job, but he didn't totally dismiss it.
Oh, and that's a no-no?
It's a no-no to talk about it, or to pretend you even want to.
So when they go into the Sistine Chapel, we were talking about this a little in the last hour, and you said they lock the door and all the people who are outsiders get kicked out. They jam the equipment, right? Like if you did have your BlackBerry and you were a cardinal, you couldn't send a tweet about how it's going if you wanted to, could you?
They build a false floor on the Sistine Chapel floor and have all kinds of jamming equipment underneath it, both to keep the cardinals from communicating with the outside world and to prevent media from attempting to eavesdrop into what's going on.
We would never do that. Don't be ridiculous.